South Florida today on NBC6 HD.
We live here, but do you ever wonder where to eat outside of the spots you usually frequent? Well, if you're interested in learning how to eat like a local, Ocean Drive style, we've got the perfect guide for you. Joining me this morning from Ocean Drive is Maria Arguello, along with Whisk Gourmet's Brendan Connor. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very
It
much.
is so good to see you. Tell me about this guide and come a little closer.
Okay, so Ocean Drive felt like putting together a guide that really lets you know about chef-driven local restaurants that are really evolving the way we eat in Miami. So we put together a guide called Eat Like a Local, and it features really amazing local restaurants that anybody can go to.
Fantastic. And Whisk Gourmet is one of them.
Whisk
What's
Gourmet
your
is one of them.
story and what are you cooking for me today?
Today we're going to be serving pan-grilled wahoo with
that
a
sounds
shrimp and roasted corn succotash. And it's a restaurant that my sister and I opened about 4 years ago, and we just opened a larger location in South Miami, and we were fortunate enough to be featured in this issue of Ocean Drive.
Let's have you get cooking, and let's look at some of the other restaurants while Brendan gets started on preparing the meal, because you've got some really great ones.
We do. We've got some amazing ones. We've got some like
And we'll put up the
Naue,
slide now.
that it's $150 to $200 per person. When you go there, it's very high-end sushi by Chef Kevin Corey. And then we've got some that have been around for decades, like Clive's in the Design District. It's been around for 34 years. It's Jamaican, amazing cuisine. And then we've got Nosberry Farms down in the Redlands. So we really gave people a variety of places and cuisines to dine on. But the one thing they all have in common is that they're all really locally driven. And so Ocean Drive did a really good job of like bringing them all together for people.
Okay, and why did you pick Whisk Gourmet?
I picked Whisk Gourmet because it's really focused on new American cuisine, and it's all about fresh ingredients. They keep it local. Almost everything is organic. It's run and owned by two locals. They grew up in Coral Gables, brother and sister. Great story. They have amazing like Southern-inspired cuisine. They do great fried green tomatoes. They also do on Fridays, this special burger. You can only get it on Fridays. You have to call ahead to order it.
Call ahead?
You have to call ahead because if not, it runs out.
Okay, you know me now. You know, I mean, don't I have it in? All right, where are we at in the recipe?
Right now what we started with is searing these baby carrots, sliced up some grape tomatoes, and we have some fresh roasted corn that I've sliced off the cob. I like to keep it whole. The ingredients you see here are the ones that I feature in our succotash: baby green beans, carrots, corn, tomatoes, some Spanish onion. What I like to do is roast the corn, cut all the kernels off the cob, and then I use the cob to make a stock with the onions and primarily thyme. We have a nice piece of wahoo here that I'm going to put into our pan. Always have to use salt and pepper when you're cooking.
Okay, you work with your sister. Who's the boss?
It really depends.
Good answer. Very good answer.
I think she would like to say she is, and I'd like to say I am. But you know, when push comes to shove, we work pretty well together, despite being siblings.
Okay, now you've got a pub on there too.
Yes, we've got. We actually got several things. We've got one place that's called The Alibi. It's actually located inside a bar, and so it's inside Lost Weekend on South Beach. So that's really interesting. And then we've also got La Moon. It's open late night. It's in Brickell.
And now it's Colombian, so I didn't quite get the name thing with La Moon.
I think La Moon is because it's open so late and so many people frequent it at like a 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. kind of location for, you know, a great late night, like greasy treat. So, I mean, there's a variety of stuff on there.
And one of the old timers on there, Garcia's.
Yes, Garcia's. It's such a gem. It's located on the river, and you know, really great fresh seafood brought in. It's a family business, and now part of the family has actually expanded, and they're doing La Camaronera, which is one of the fish trucks that's going around.
Fantastic. Now, fried green tomatoes. Did you go for kind of like a southern thing, succotash?
Well, I learned how to cook in Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, okay. I was wondering how a Miami boy knew how to cook southern food. Okay, that explains a lot.
And while I was there in college, I started cooking and really just fell in love with the flavors and the tie between the land and what we're eating at the same time. And I brought it back to Miami, and so far it's translated pretty well for us, that people are really liking what we're doing over there.
I hear from Maria that you barely can get in the place some days.
Some days it's pretty hard to get into, and it's kind of funny. We opened up, our original restaurant was about 18 seats, and we had a line out the door. And then we opened up this one, which has about 75, and there's still a line, and people who didn't know us before will often say, why did we open such a small restaurant? But you know, it is what it is, and we're happy to.
Where are we
be
at
where
in
we
this
are.
menu?
Well, I've added the shrimp to the succotash, and I'm allowing it to poach. I have seared the fish, and if you give it the nice 45-degree turn, you get those beautiful grill marks. And if you're cooking this at home, the best thing to do is start it on the first side. When you flip it over, finish it off in the oven. We have our little handy Channel 6 oven here.
Not quite like the restaurant, but it
Not
does
quite,
the job.
but it's going to get the job done. And as that's cooking, you let your succotash cook the shrimp, and you're getting all the nice aroma from the corn, the onions, the shrimp, and in a few minutes we'll be ready to plate up.
All right, we'll show the final finished dish in a little bit. We'll talk to Maria a little bit longer, but for more information on your quest to find the perfect place to eat in South Florida, go to oceandrive.com. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Today's South Florida Sizzles cooking segment is sponsored by Panda Kitchen and Bath. From imagination straight to installation, log on to Panda Kitchen.
Live. This is South Florida Today on NBC6 HD.
So Brendan's plating this fabulous dish, and where can we find out about all these great restaurants?
You can always follow oceandrive.com, and you can also check out Taste. It's a monthly column that we have in the magazine.
Fantastic, Brendan, that looks wonderful. Are we ready to eat?
We're getting there. We're right up. All right, so I like to start with a little bit of jasmine rice on the bottom of the plate, just to give it a nice starch. We have all of our nice, fresh, beautiful vegetables, the shrimp arranged around that, and I believe our fish is done.
Okay. While you're putting that on there, we'll get ready to go on over to the band. So fish is coming. Beautiful.
All right.
Gorgeous dish. Thank you, Brendan.
Beautiful.
You're very welcome.
All right, looks beautiful. All right, we're going to chow down here. In the meantime, you can listen to